The story begins with Dre Parker, a 12-year-old boy packing up his life in Detroit. His mother Sherry works for a car company, and her job has been moved to Beijing, which means the two of them have to leave the only city Dre has ever lived in. Sherry keeps talking about the move like it is a fresh start, but Dre does not see it that way. His father is gone, his friends are staying behind. To him, this feels like one more piece of his life being pulled away from him. After a long flight, Dre and Sherry land in Beijing and settle into their new apartment building. A boy named Harry helps Dre carry his bags up. Harry mentions that kids usually gather at a park close by. Dre is relieved someone here actually speaks English, so he agrees to go take a look later. Inside the apartment, Sherry turns on the tap and finds there is no hot water. She sends Dre to find whoever handles repairs in the building. Dre finds Mr. Han, a quiet man who works in a dim room packed with tools and one old car. Dre tries to describe the problem, but Mr. Han hardly says anything back. The silence stretches out until Dre gives up and walks out. Later that day, Dre meets Harry at the park. He joins a basketball game to try to fit in, but he plays badly and ends up embarrassed. He then challenges an older man to ping pong and loses in seconds. That is when Dre spots Mei Ying, a girl off by herself, playing violin. He can't take his eyes off her, so Harry tells him to go talk to her. Dre stumbles through a few words of Mandarin, and Mei Ying answers him in English. The two start talking, and Mei Ying becomes curious about Dre's hair. Just then, Cheng shows up with a group of boys from his kung fu school. Cheng's family knows Mei Ying's family, and he does not want Dre near her. He tells Mei Ying to leave. Dre moves between them and tells Cheng to leave her alone. Cheng shoves him straight to the ground. Dre remembers a few basic moves back in America, so he stands up and swings at Cheng. Cheng blocks him easily, throws him down, and hits him again and again. Harry tries to explain that Dre just got here, but Cheng will not stop. Mei Ying finally steps in and makes Cheng back off. Dre is humiliated and tells her he doesn't need her help. He walks home bruised and angry. The next morning, Dre is set on hiding the beating from his mother. He covers his black eye with makeup and puts a cap on. At school, the assistant principal tells him hats are not allowed. When Dre takes it off, Sherry sees the makeup and the bruise under it and asks what happened. Dre says he walked into a pole. She knows that is not true. He didn't tell her who hit him because he thinks she will only make things worse. At lunch, Mei Ying comes over and introduces herself properly. She says sorry for what Cheng did. Dre asks if Cheng is her boyfriend. She explains that their parents are close and that Cheng is only a family friend. Before they can keep talking, Cheng walks by and knocks Dre's lunch tray into his chest on purpose. Dre snaps at him, but school staff pull them apart before it turns into another fight. Cheng walks off without any real punishment, and Dre feels even more stuck in his new life. Back at the apartment, Dre watches martial arts on television and copies the moves. Mr. Han finally comes by to look at the hot water. He shows Dre that all he needs to do is flip a switch, wait for the water to get warm, and shut it off again. While he works, Mr. Han notices the black eye. Dre repeats the story about the pole, and Mr. Han does not believe a word of it. Sherry comes home and sees Dre's jacket lying on the floor. She tells him to pick it up, and he answers with an attitude. She makes him hang it up properly while Mr. Han watches the whole argument without a word. At school, Dre tries to keep his distance from Cheng. He ducks into the music room where Mei Ying is practicing with her music teacher. The teacher stops her several times and tells her she is rushing the piece. He says she has to learn to respect the quiet spaces between the notes because her audition for the Beijing Academy of Music could decide her future. Once the teacher leaves, Dre tells her she sounded great. While they are talking, the teacher comes back and Dre leaves. Outside, Dre meets Cheng and his friends while walking home. Cheng makes fun of Dre, throws his things on the ground, and warns him to stay away from Mei Ying. A short while later, Sherry spots a kung fu school and brings Dre inside, hoping it might help him find friends. Dre sees Cheng and the same boys training under Master Li. The students shout that they show no weakness, feel no pain, and give no mercy. Dre is scared and hurries out of the building. Sherry follows him and asks what is going on. Dre finally breaks down. They have been in China less than a week, but to him, it already feels like a whole year. He hates it there and wants to go back to Detroit. Sherry tells him that is not going to happen. Nothing is waiting for them in Detroit, and whether he likes it or not, Beijing is their home now. Dre walks off feeling more trapped than before. Not long after, Dre goes with his class on a trip to the Forbidden City. He is standing in one of the most famous places in China, but his mind stays on Cheng and the fear of getting jumped again. Later, Dre sees Cheng and his friends walking below a raised platform. He wants payback for everything they have done to him, so he grabs a bucket and pours dirty water down onto them. The boys look up and take off after him. Dre runs through alleys, construction sites, and narrow passages, trying anything to lose them. For a second, he thinks he has. Then Chang and the others close in around him. They hold him still, while Chang punches him over and over. One of the boys sees how hurt Dre is, and asks Chang to stop. Chang thinks of Master Li's rule about giving no mercy, and keeps hitting him. Just as Chang winds up again, Mr. Han steps out of the shadows and catches his arm. Chang tries to kick him, and Mr. Han drops him to the ground with one small movement. The other students rush in all at once. Mr. Han stays calm. He slips their punches and uses their own speed against them. He traps their arms, turns their bodies, and lines them up so they crash into each other. The angrier they get, the easier they are to move around. In a few seconds, all 6 trained students are on the ground. Dre can barely believe that the silent maintenance man from his building took them apart without ever losing his temper. Mr. Han brings Dre back to his workshop and presses heated glass cups onto his skin. The fire cupping relieves the pain from the beating. Dre asks how he learned to fight like that. Mr. Han says his father taught him kung fu, but he has never had a student of his own. Dre asks him for lessons right away. He wants to be strong enough to get revenge, so Mr. Han says no. Real kung fu is for knowledge and defense, not for anger. The best fight is the one you never have. Dre points out that Chang and his friends clearly never learned that. Mr. Han agrees that those boys are not cruel by nature. The way they act comes from the man teaching them. The real problem is Master Li. Mr. Han takes Dre to the Fighting Dragon studio to try to end the trouble peacefully. When they walk in, Master Li is watching 2 students spar. One of them knocks the other down and stops, since the match is clearly over. Master Li is furious. He hits his own student and orders him to keep attacking, showing everyone in the room that mercy is weakness. Chang points out Mr. Han as the man who fought them. Mr. Han explains that 6 students against 1 boy was not fair, and that he only stepped in to protect Dre. Master Li will not talk about peace. He demands a fight right there. Mr. Han turns him down, but Master Li blocks the door and says one of them has to fight before they walk out. Mr. Han sees a poster on the wall for an open kung fu tournament coming up. He offers a deal. Dre will face Master Li's students at that tournament, as long as they leave him alone until then. Master Li takes the deal. He tells his students not to touch Dre while he trains, but warns that if Dre does not show up, both Dre and Mr. Han will pay for it. Outside, Dre is horrified. Up to now, the boys could only embarrass him in private. At the tournament, they can tear him apart in front of a crowd. Mr. Han tells him that Master Li's violence is not what Kung Fu really is. He promises to train Dre properly and get him ready. The next morning, Dre shows up at the workshop early. He proudly runs through gymnastics, some basic grappling, and a few wild moves he says he learned in America. The show ends when he crashes into one of Mr. Han's things and breaks it. Mr. Han has no interest in any of it. He points at Dre's jacket and tells him to pick it up. Dre does. Then Mr. Han tells him to put it on, take it off, drop it, pick it up, and hang it on a post. Dre does the sequence again and again. Anytime his posture slips or his attitude shows, Mr. Han makes him start over. Dre came expecting punches, kicks, and real techniques. The whole session is nothing but the jacket. When Dre gets home, he hangs his jacket on the hook without thinking about it. Sherry stares at him, surprised, wondering what changed. At school, Mei Ying tells Dre about the coming Qi Shi festival, which is celebrated like Chinese Valentine's Day. She asks him to meet her at the Shaolin Theater during the festival. Dre goes back to the workshop and tries to leave his jacket somewhere else so they can finally do something new. Mr. Han already knows where he hid it and sends him to go get it. When rain starts falling, Dre keeps doing the same movements outside, while Mr. Han watches from under an umbrella. Dre decides the exercise must be about respect, especially toward his mother. Mr. Han still will not tell him the real reason. Sherry shows up with tickets to the festival, and an extra one for Mr. Han. He does not like crowds and tries to say no, but Sherry will not take no for an answer. At the festival, Dre makes an excuse and slips away to find Mei Ying. He gives her a music CD, and the two of them go into the Shaolin Theater together. The performance tells the story of 2 lovers who were split apart by a river in the sky. Once a year, birds form a bridge so the 2 can meet again. The story moves Dre, and he promises to come to Mei Ying's audition. She promises to come watch him fight at the tournament. Sitting near the projector, the 2 of them share a quick kiss. Their shadows show up on the screen, and the audience reacts, so they hurry out. At the next training session, Mr. Han tells Dre to start the jacket routine again. Dre finally runs out of patience. He argues that he has burned days picking up clothes while Chang is getting ready to beat him. Dre turns to walk out, but Mr. Han stops him and tells him to put the jacket on one last time. As Dre lifts his arm, Mr. Han grabs at him. Without thinking, Dre uses one of the motions he has repeated hundreds of times and blocks it. Mr. Han comes at him from another angle. Dre blocks that too. Every part of the jacket routine turns into a defense. Lifting the jacket is a block. Dropping it is an escape. Hanging it is a strike. Dre understands that Mr. Han has been building his muscle memory the whole time. The movements are so deep in his body that he can use them before his mind catches up. Mr. Han explains that Kung Fu lives in everything a person does. It is in how you move, how you finish a small task, and how you treat other people. It is much more than punching and kicking. From there, the training gets serious. Mr. Han takes Dre on a long trip by train and bus out to the Wudong Mountains. They climb a punishing staircase up to a Taoist temple sitting above the clouds. At the temple, Dre sees people practicing all kinds of Kung Fu. One woman stands perfectly still near a cobra. She moves slowly, and the snake follows every turn of her head. Mr. Han leads Dre to the Dragon Well. He says his father once told him the water held Kung Fu power, and that anyone who drank it could never be beaten. Dre gulps some down before he realizes Mr. Han is sharing a story from his childhood, and not a promise. Dre asks about the woman and the cobra. He assumes she was copying the snake, but Mr. Han tells him it was the other way around. Her mind was so calm that the cobra started mirroring her. Mr. Han shows Dre their reflections in the still water. When the mind is calm, the world looks clear. Dre is taken with the cobra technique and wants to learn how to control another person like that. Mr. Han tells him there is only one person he needs to control, and that is himself. Back in Beijing, the work gets harder. Mr. Han trains Dre in balance, timing, strength, and patience. They use wooden poles, ropes, and targets. In one drill, Mr. Han hides behind a hanging sheet and strikes without warning. Dre cannot see where the hits are coming from, so he has to stop relying on his eyes and start feeling movement around him. At first, he gets angry every time he is hit. Slowly, his reactions sharpen. His body gets faster, his balance holds better, and his mind settles. Eventually, Mr. Han gives him a day off, telling him that too much training does more harm than good. Dre finds Mei Ying, who is anxious about her audition. He remembers the lesson about balance and talks her into taking a short break from practice. The two skip school and spend the day together. They go to an arcade, play games, and dance in front of an interactive screen. For a few hours, Mei Ying stops thinking about the pressure on her future. The day ends when her father calls. Her audition has been moved up to that same day, and it starts in a few minutes. Her father comes and rushes her off. Dre follows and slips into the audition hall. Mei Ying plays in front of a serious panel. She keeps her breathing steady, remembers to respect the pauses, and gets through the difficult piece. Dre cannot hold back and stands up to applaud loudly. Mei Ying smiles at that, but her father is angry that Dre pulled her out of school before something this important. Outside, Mei Ying tells Dre that her parents now see him as a bad influence. She is not allowed to see him anymore. Before she goes, she reminds him that she still promised to come to his tournament. Heartbroken, Dre heads to Mr. Han's workshop expecting to train. Instead, he finds Mr. Han drunk and smashing the old car in his home with a heavy hammer. Dre notices a photograph and a newspaper clipping. Mr. Han finally tells him that the people in the picture were his wife, Shang, and his young son, Kong Kong. Years ago, Mr. Han was driving with them in heavy rain. He and his wife started arguing, and his anger pulled his attention off the road. He lost control of the car, and the crash killed them both. Mr. Han cannot even remember what the argument was about. Every year, he rebuilds the car piece by piece. On the anniversary of the crash, he destroys it again, because fixing the car can never fix what he lost. Mr. Han sinks down inside the car, buried in guilt. Dre sits with him. Rather than leave his teacher alone with it, he quietly carries the training poles outside and starts working through his forms. Seeing Dre keep going reminds Mr. Han of the promise the two of them made. He comes outside and joins him. From that day on, teacher and student train with new focus. Dre runs through the city, climbs stairs, builds up his legs, and drills his forms in courtyards, on rooftops, and along the Great Wall. Mr. Han pushes him harder, while Dre's effort slowly pulls Mr. Han back toward life. As the tournament gets close, Mr. Han gives Dre a traditional Kung Fu uniform. He tells him that winning is not the whole point of the competition. Dre has to fight with honor and earn the respect that will finally end the bullying. Mr. Han also admits that Dre has taught him something too. Life knocks everyone down, but getting back up is a choice. Dre hugs him and tells Mr. Han that he is the best friend he has ever had. Before the tournament, Dre wants to fix things with Mei Ying's family. With Mr. Han's help, he prepares an apology in Mandarin and goes to her home. Standing in front of her father, Dre takes responsibility for what he did. He says that Mei Ying has made his life better, and he promises that if he gets another chance, he will be a loyal and respectful friend. Her father listens closely. He tells Dre that his daughter promised to be at the tournament, and their family keeps its promises. Mei Ying will be allowed to come. The day of the tournament arrives. The arena is packed with competitors, coaches, and families. Master Li walks in with Cheng, Liang, and the rest of the Fighting Dragon students. Mei Ying comes with her parents, and Sherry sits down next to Mr. Han. Watching Cheng beat an opponent brings all of Dre's fear back. When Dre's first match starts, he keeps backing away from contact and stepping off the mat. The referee warns him that leaving the area again will cost him a point. Mr. Han calls him over and tells him to focus. Dre takes a breath, walks back to the center, and trusts his training. This time, he blocks his opponent's attack and scores. He lands another clean technique and takes the match. That win changes everything. Dre starts moving with confidence and works his way up through the bracket. The jacket movements show up on their own in his defense. The balance and timing from the mountains help him handle bigger opponents. Cheng and the Fighting Dragon students keep winning too. Master Li watches Dre's run with growing anger. The American boy he planned to humiliate is turning into a real threat. Dre reaches the semifinals. Cheng wins the first semifinal and takes his spot in the championship. Dre's semifinal opponent is Liang, one of Master Li's strongest students. Before the match, Master Li quietly orders Liang to hurt Dre instead of just beating him. Liang does not want to do it, but he is too scared to refuse. The fight starts, and Dre scores with speed and control. Liang answers by going after Dre's leg. Even after the referee warns him, he keeps attacking the same spot. Liang finally drives a hard strike into Dre's knee after the exchange should have been over. Dre goes down in pain. The referee disqualifies Liang on the spot, which means Dre moves on to the final. His leg is badly hurt. Medical staff carry Dre into a treatment room. The doctor tells Sherry and Mr. Han that Dre should not go back out. Outside, the referee starts the countdown. If Dre cannot return in time, Cheng will be named champion. Dre asks his mother and Mei Ying to step out. Alone with Mr. Han, he begs for help. Mr. Han tells him he has already earned respect and has nothing left to prove. Dre explains that the trophy is not why he wants to go back. He is tired of being afraid. If he quits now, the fear will stay with him. Mr. Han understands. He performs fire cupping on Dre's injured leg. It takes away enough pain for Dre to stand, but it cannot undo the damage. Every step still hurts. Just as the referee is about to hand Cheng the championship, Dre appears in the entrance and limps toward the mat. The crowd stands up and applauds as he takes his place. The final begins. Cheng attacks hard and quickly figures out that Dre can barely put weight on the leg. He goes after it, knocks Dre off balance, and takes the first point. Mr. Han tells Dre to stay calm. Dre changes his stance, protects the knee, and starts using his speed. He slips Cheng's next attack and answers with a clean counter to tie the score. The two of them trade points until the championship comes down to one last score. Master Li pulls Cheng aside and orders him to break Dre's injured leg. Cheng hesitates, but years of doing what he is told push him back onto the mat. Cheng attacks the knee again. Dre falls and struggles to get up. The pain is so bad that he cannot fight the normal way anymore. That is when Dre remembers the woman at the Taoist temple. He rises up on one leg and moves into the cobra stance. His body goes still. His breathing slows down and his eyes lock onto Cheng. Cheng does not know what he is looking at. Without meaning to, he starts following Dre's rhythm, shifting his head and body along with him. Cheng finally charges in. Dre slips the attack, throws himself backward, and lands a flying kick that drops Cheng onto the mat. The referee gives Dre the final point. Dre Parker wins the tournament. The arena erupts. Sherry, Mei Ying, and Mr. Han watch proudly as Dre is named champion. Master Li stands there with nothing to say, watching his cruelty lose to the discipline and respect he called weakness. Instead of letting an official hand over the trophy, Cheng picks it up himself. He walks over to Dre and gives it to him with respect. Then Cheng and the other Fighting Dragon students turn toward Mr. Han and bow. They are not only honoring Dre's win, they are admitting that Mr. Han is the kind of kung fu master they should have been following all along. Dre lifts the trophy while Mr. Han smiles from the edge of the arena. Dre came to China feeling alone, angry, and desperate to go home. By the end, he has the respect of the boys who tormented him, a real friend in Mr. Han, and the courage to stand up without fear. So, what did you think about the movie? Drop them in the comments and subscribe if you want more recaps like this one.